Greetings, my friends. Please consider supporting me in my war to save pop culture by subscribing to my channel and possibly even becoming a channel member for exclusive videos, access to Doomcock emojis, and more. And if you like this video in particular, please consider using the new Super Thanks feature and putting a tip in the tip jar located next to the like buttons down at the bottom of the video. Thank you for watching, and now, on to the video. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, broadcasting from my hidden base at the center of the Earth, and I am here today with an update on rumors of Kathleen Kennedy's latest attempts to cling to power at Lucasfilm after the release of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Sorry to interrupt, Doomcock, but man, that title is so awful, it just cracks me up. I mean, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny? Really? What are they going to call the sequel? Indiana Jones and the Irish Spring of long-lasting deodorant protection? I'm with Harvey Cthulhu on this one. Apparently it was nap time in the Lucasfilm marketing department when they came up with that doozy of a title. Every time I hear Dial of Destiny, I'd laugh my ass off. If only I had an ass. But enough levity, let's get down to Kennedy's latest perfidy, Doomcock. I assume Kennedy is attempting to continue her assault on Star Wars.
You assume correctly, Skull of Calderon, although apparently Favreau is not surrendering, despite the setbacks I have chronicled in previous videos. I'll have details about a new Star Wars series Favreau is allegedly working on in a few minutes, but now let's talk about Kennedy. Regarding the rumors of Kennedy's imminent departure, if you recall, John Campa issued a rumor back in November that Kennedy was finished at Lucasfilm, that she would be departing the company either shortly before or immediately after the release of Indiana Jones 5. This rumor did not originate from me, so I've been taking a wait-and-see approach to this topic because, frankly, Kennedy has been proven time and time again to be as tenacious as Christopher Lee's Dracula in the gory Hammer horror films that made him an icon. It seems to me that Kennedy is a lot like Dracula in those movies. I mean, remember when they killed the Count in Dracula, Prince of Darkness, and he was basically nothing but a pile of ashes, and you figure, well, shit, that's that, so much for Dracula, until some evil asshole working on the Lucasfilm story group poured blood on the ashes, and bada bing, bada boom, Dracula is not only risen from the grave, we're also hearing that Dracula is going to be making more Star Wars trilogies. I swear, this woman has as many lives as Jason Voorhees and less movie-making talent. And when you can't make better movies than a guy in a hockey mask with an axe, you really shouldn't be employed in Hollywood. Nevertheless, I have some new reporting from my Hollywood spies about Kennedy's latest attempts to cling to power and sabotage Star Wars, Jon Favreau's attempts to carry on despite her interference, and the possible revival of a Jon Favreau series we thought Kennedy had killed off for good.
Well, it's nice to hear that despite nearly quitting last year, Favreau has rallied and is doing his best to carry on with his plans. But tell us what you've heard, Doomcock.
Very well, Harvey. At this point, I'd like to state that what I'm about to tell you is information provided to me by my Hollywood spies from sources claiming knowledge of the situation at Lucasfilm, but since I cannot personally verify this information, I am presenting it as unverified rumor, and I ask you to please take it with a grain of salt. So before we get to what Favreau's allegedly been up to, let's start with some information leaked from a good source inside Lucasfilm and or Disney about Kathleen Kennedy. According to this source, quote, Lucasfilm is a mess these days. There's palpable anxiety over the inability to get a project off the ground for the box office. Now the trades are commenting on it. There's Marvel fatigue, but nobody really buys it. And they know there's absolutely zero Star Wars fatigue. Kennedy's days here are numbered. They wanted her out of here after Indiana Jones comes out in June, but then Bob Iger took over. That threw everything into question again. It looks like she's angling to stay longer, maybe till 2024. I don't think it's going to go that way based on some of the project requests coming through the pipeline, but everything gets more vague once you get into Q4 of this year. There's still plenty to do, just not with the kind of specific details you usually see. It looks weird, makes you think they don't have long-term plans anymore. Might be placeholders the farther you go in planning. Regardless, Kennedy is allegedly involved with big projects. Water cooler kind of stuff, but it's going around that she wants an extension. 2024 could happen, I guess, but most expect she's negotiating for a legacy role after she steps down here. I've heard from those who would know, Kennedy wants the same deal Iger has. Consultation agreement, stock options, and it's an unspoken secret. She wants a guaranteed executive producer option for future films. 4 is the number she's seeking, it looks like. She'll want power with those EP spots too. Her and her husband want to stay in the game and want Disney to foot the bill. Harder to get a deal like that when every dollar is under scrutiny now, but it might be worth it for Burbank to have her out of the big chair here, unquote.
Damn it! You're right, Doomcock. She's like Count Succula. Can nothing keep her down?
Well, Harvey, fortunately, the resistance inside Lucasfilm is still doing their best to carry on despite the sound of flapping bat wings circling in the air. Let's tackle the news of the new Star Wars series that is rumored to be in development. Recently, my Hollywood spies contacted me with the following message. Quote, "Okay, what we are about to tell you is what has been green-lighted as far as Star Wars goes and the new direction that will happen, allegedly. So let's start with the aim of the new direction. In order to placate Kathleen Kennedy, Jon Favreau has been forced to abandon his old story. Basically, he can't use Luke to train Baby Yoda," unquote.
Now hold on a minute, Doomcock. I thought it was the marketing department who'd put the brakes on Favreau's plan to have Luke Skywalker train Grogu. Is that not true?
That's what happened according to earlier sources who leaked about the situation, at least in a literal sense. But the thing is, the genesis of this sabotage allegedly was Kathleen Kennedy. She was ultimately behind this move, the rumor has it, probably because Luke taking Grogu as his first student would have screwed up the corrupted canon of the sequel trilogy, and that was something she couldn't allow. I'm told she couldn't simply order him to change it, but what she could do is get the marketing department in on the situation. She convinced them that the only Disney Star Wars merchandise selling was Baby Yoda, and somehow she sold them on the idea that separating Baby Yoda from the Mandalorian would kill toy sales. And so the marketing department interfered, and as a result, Favreau had to adapt. I mean, think of this poor guy. Kennedy allegedly was behind the firing of Gina Carano, which completely derailed big parts of Jon Favreau's planned story, and then she separated Luke and Baby Yoda, which further fucked up his plans. But even so, Favreau is persevering according to my Hollywood spies, who tell me, quote, "Not to give too much away, but in Favreau's new direction, Grogu does not need training as he was already far along in his training," unquote. And as far as Gina Carano is concerned, well, you can't keep a good idea down. According to my spies, quote, "Rangers of the New Republic will be on track this year and is in progress now. Shooting should begin in the next few weeks," unquote.
Holy shit! Seriously? Does that mean that Gina Carano is coming back? Which would be the best damn decision Disney has made in years?
Well, funny you should ask that, Harvey. So get this. A few months ago, someone came to our Hollywood spies trying to sell us on a rumor that Cara Dune was going to be recast in the Mandoverse. I sat on this story because it was just too horrible to believe, but after a time, I almost published that rumor despite my reservations, but thankfully I abstained. I asked my spies to dig further, and they told me that as best as they could figure, this was a false rumor from Kennedy's camp to upset fans. That's not atypical of Kennedy's camp, since as best as I can tell, she holds old school Star Wars fans in contempt, and her camp is not above trolling us. Fanboy tier mugs, anyone? But I did wonder why, all of a sudden, this weird rumor, and why the rumor of Damon Lindelof, of all people, creating a new Star Wars movie. What the hell is going on? Well, I'll have more about this in the next 2 weeks, but let's address Rangers of the New Republic specifically, and this nasty rumor about Gina getting replaced. It's very interesting to me how these rumors kind of dovetail, because if John is working on fixing Rangers of the New Republic and working around Kathleen Kennedy's sabotage, it makes sense that Kennedy's camp might want to put out a rumor that Gina Carano was being recast, which would taint the whole project, leaving a bad taste in the mouths of fans even before Rangers of the New Republic was announced. When dealing with rumors, folks, you have to look at a lot of tea leaves and entrails to try to piece together what's actually happening. Now, according to my sources, Cara Dune is not going to be recast. Allegedly, Jon Favreau said that would happen, quote, over his dead body, unquote. So who is going to allegedly star in Rangers of the New Republic? Take this with a grain of salt, people, because things are in utter chaos over at Lucasfilm right now, and shit is changing fast. But at this moment, the plan is that Timothy Oliphant will reprise his role from Mandalorian in Rangers of the New Republic, serving as one of the lead characters. According to my Hollywood spies, Favreau is actually using Kennedy's decision to decanonize the EU to his advantage. A source told my spies, quote, "The beauty of Kathy's decision to make the EU non-canon is it gives John the road to redo mistakes. His plan is to explore the gray Jedi, and part of the story is that for right now, the battle is not one-sided. John has to walk a knife edge. The story could go either way at any moment. As long as Grogu is not in the hands of what is left of the Empire, hope is there, no matter where Grogu is or who he's with," unquote. So there you have it, folks. Kennedy is rumored to be angling to keep her feet in the water at Disney, ruining as many projects as she can before she retires, although whether she will succeed this time is anyone's guess. But if this rumor is correct, Favreau is bouncing back with a new story arc and a newly revised Rangers of the New Republic. I just hope that Mando Season 3 is going to be as good as I'm hearing it is. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha.